and participants present for this session. The topic for today's session would be scope of yoga and wellness in UAE. I would like to take a few moments before beginning the session to introduce our speaker for today. He is Dr. Amarrya Hiremath. He is a passionate practitioner of naturopathy and yoga for last 12 years in both India and abroad. He has earned his BNYS degree from SDM CNYS Ujjain. He had accumulated immense experience in treating chronic health problems by employing holistic healing methodology as a therapeutic module back in India. He has great skills in acupuncture and has treated 550 chronic migraine patients with the same therapy. After going to UAE, he gained experience in different systems of yoga. He's also involved as a resource person for many local TV channels and radio programs, and also the newspapers in UAE. Since 6 years, he's been living and working as a senior wellness and yoga consultant at Synergy Healing Center in the Emirates of Fujairah, UAE. I would like to welcome you all on behalf of OYG, sir, and I would like to hand over the platform to you to give us some knowledge and light on the scope of yoga in UAE back there. Thank you for joining us, and please share your experiences and your knowledge about the scopes. Sir, your mic is muted still.
Hello.
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Yes. Everybody? Am I audible to everybody?
Yes, sir, audible.
Okay. Thank you so much for giving my introduction, Ritu. And it's a great opportunity and privilege for me to join this webinar to discuss my experience and quite a bit of knowledge about naturopathy and yoga in front of this wonderful virtual community. And it's a pleasure actually to meet you guys. And I think there are so many people. Yeah. So how are you all doing? Oh, they're unable to speak back to me, right?
Yes,
Only
sir.
you'll be there. Okay, no problem. So it's a pleasure again, once again, to talk to you about my experience of being a naturopathy and yoga doctor back in India as well and in UAE. So let me give you my little bit of brief introduction apart from the detailed introduction which you have given to everyone already. So I have studied my naturopathy and yoga graduation from SDM College of Naturopathy and Yoga Sciences, Ujjain. Sorry for correcting your pronunciation. No problem. It's okay. So I studied between 2003 to 2008, the 15th batch of Ujjain SDM College, and since being in this field for the past 12 years, I can say I have a broad spectrum of work knowledge. In the sense, what I mean is, I have touched two different categories of treating illnesses or connecting to people in this field of naturopathy and yoga. Say, for example, I started my journey as a medical officer at a government naturopathy hospital, which was under private public partnership between SDM and the Shantivana Trust and government of Karnataka, where I used to treat cater my medical services for as low as 5 rupees to 10 rupees. And to a fact that I've been in UAE and I have delivered my personal tailor-made yoga class for a hi-fi client as much as 350 dirham, which is equivalent to 7,000 Indian rupees for 1 hour, 60-minute session of yoga class. So this can explain to the audience that there are two spectrum of shades in a single beam of light. So being in this naturopathy and yoga field for the past 12 years, I would say I have catered my naturopathy and yoga services for different categories. In a sense, I've treated cancer patients. I mean, I was working under the Bharat Cancer Hospital, which is a cancer research and treatment center in Mysore, where I used to cater my naturopathy and yoga services for the people who are undergoing extreme depression, extreme anxiety of suffering cancer by counseling them, by treating with yoga modalities, naturopathy modalities, by reducing their anxiety, stress, to make sure they come out of the depression related to cancer. And this is one category. And coming to the another talent, I have demonstrated the Jala Yoga, which is a kind of yoga where I float over the surface of the water by holding my breath and demonstrating different yoga postures. And that is kind of one spectrum. Coming to Vinyasa Yoga, I have learned my intense Vinyasa Yoga training from a renowned yoga master called, I think, yeah, Vijay Kumar, sorry, Vijay Kumar. And coming to another perspective, yoga called as Bikram Yoga, which is more of Western kind of style where a participant is in a 40-degree temperature room with a 40% humidity to burn more calories. And there are standard 26 postures, which is 24 postures plus 2 breathing, which are done in the same sequence every time to gain flexibility, to reduce weight, and to come out of joint pains and all kind of stuff. And to another spectrum where there is a different styles of meditation, which you would have heard of, like singing bowl meditation. It is a technique of meditation where we use 7 different singing bowls, which are tuned to different frequencies to impact on 7 different chakras of our body. So the singing bowls are traditionally Tibetan singing bowls, which are comprising of 7 different metals to produce that particular frequency of sound to synchronize with the brain waves to impact on deep kind of relaxation where you can enhance the healing mechanisms, you can come out of anxiety, stress and depression and all kind of stuff. So this is kind of explaining the background of my work style where I have touched different aspects of health and catering my services to the clients. And as I told you, like I have been in UAE for the past 7 years plus, and uh, yoga studio jobs, I can say, in because in UAE, I've been almost continuing with only yoga field because I did not get my, I mean, medical. There is one exam, like there is one particular registration body called as MOH, Ministry of Health, where they conduct exams to be able to practice your system of medicine in UAE, which I did not go through because I was continuously in the field of yoga. I was catering. I was working as yoga teacher in different yoga studios in Dubai. So I didn't touch the clinical field. Uh, Nevertheless, I would continue to explain about my experience being in yoga field. And uh, since 2 years, I have been, mm, I mean, in a healing center where it caters different holistic approach of medicine where they introduce Ayurveda as a treatment modality. They use naturopathic hydrotherapy as a treatment modality, thermal suit, and physiotherapy, both for sports physiotherapy and manual physiotherapy, and underwater exercise pool, and all kind of stuff. Then before these 2 years, uh, I worked as a health advisor and health consultant for a VIP who, like, I'll be accompanying that person every time wherever he travels in his private jet. And I have almost traveled across 7 different countries, just accompanying him and catering my yoga classes and advices on his health and well-being. So this is a kind of my gentle history of being in UAE. Then coming to the actual session, where let me introduce uh, myself and give a gentle introduction about yoga. Yoga as a system of integrative medicine has been widely accepted by the entire world, as you all know. We have International Yoga Day also as a part of our field, and as you know, the 21st century is more often suffering with psychological and psychosomatic disorders like diabetes, hypertension, asthma, obesity, depression, anxiety, neurosis, inflammatory bowel syndrome, and so on. So for this, I think yoga is a great way of approach to take out the root cause of the problem rather than just patching up with the symptoms. Yeah. In yoga concept, we say Adi Javadi. Adi means the origin of disease, which produces Vadi or physical symptoms in the physical body. So as long as we don't understand the root cause of the problem, it's quite difficult to handle the problem. Yeah. So in yoga, we say the 99% of the problems arises somewhere in the corner of our mind, right? That is because of our stressful lifestyle, different stressful situations of our work life, family life, and different aspects. Yeah. So yoga focuses on the root cause of the problem by learning how to breathe, how to be, how to change our postures, and how to change our attitude, how to outlook, positive outlook, how to change our personality from inside out rather than the other way around. Yeah. And coming to yoga as a spiritual approach, as you know thyself, then you would know the whole world. It is all about self discovery. We are so much outbound that we try to understand and try to become happy by understanding the external situations of life. Whereas it is the other way around. As long as we don't turn our senses inwards and trying to understand the way how we react to different situations, it's quite difficult to handle and be happy consistently, because we are trying to rely upon the external situations which should make us happy, whereas it is the internal response to different situations which decides the quality of our happiness. So uh, this is the way we can make people understand that the happiness is not somewhere outside, where we are trying to bring happiness through the materialistic things, but it is our own response, our own nature. Because when you look at baby, it is inborn happy. We don't have to teach them you should be joyful, you should be happy. It the very nature of our mind is to stay happy and joyful all the time, provided we are creating different consequences in our life to impact on our mind, and then we are trying to unlearn happiness and we are trying to learn to become miserable and sad. Yeah. So yoga approaches in this context where we consider a person as a whole, in other sense 5 sheets of our personality, integrate the yoga approach towards health, physical, energy wise, mental, emotional, intellectual, and spiritual. So these are the different sheets through which we can try to understand the nature and try to react to different situations accordingly. So coming to the physical, it is called as Annamaya Kosha, where we need to take help of the asanas, the pranayamas, and different cleansing techniques to take care of our physical health. Then coming to energy body or pranayama kosha, where we have different pranayama techniques or breathing techniques to channelize our energies. We don't have to consider it as a philosophical way. Even the modern world is accepting these traditional concepts, and they are trying to implement them in their day-to-day routine to stay healthy, to stay positive. So coming to the Manomaya Kosha, by understanding, by knowledge, we can come to better understanding of life. Yeah. Then coming to Vijnanamaya, the intellectual sheath of our personality. Even through knowledge, we can prevent so many problems in our life. Then coming to the spiritual aspect, which is the completely absorbed state, or we can, in other words, say super conscious state, where we can know everything just by understanding this piece of creation. Because the air we breathe out is the air uh, um, trees breathe in, and the air they breathe out is the air we breathe in. So there is no dualities, as we say, union of individual consciousness with a universal consciousness, which means this is quite a deep sense of understanding the yoga concept. Whereas if you consider that there is no different entity called that and this, because it is the union which it is the coexistence of me and other thing combined together forms this entire creation. So understanding these five sheets of our personality and trying to implement the yoga concepts into our daily routine, which makes us a complete person. Yeah. Then coming to the yoga and wellness as an industry, let us understand how big is the industry and how there is approach to this yoga field, and how we can deal with the different day-to-day challenges of our professional life in being in this naturopathy and yoga field. Yeah, yoga plays a pivotal role in combating stress and its consequences, as UAE's major population is based on expats who are working in different job fields, yeah, job sectors. That is the reason why it makes it very interesting for the yoga industry to exist in UAE, because as I think some people, some of you might be knowing how big is the expat community in UAE, because only 20 to 25% of the actual population is the localites. Other than that, we have people across the globe. I think there are 190 plus country people who are staying in UAE. So this gives a hint for us to understand how productive and how uh, important it is to establish our naturopathy and yoga system in this UAE. Yeah, there are two perspectives to it. One is to understand from the perspective of people who are seeking job or seeking a opportunity in UAE as a job seeker, and the second perspective is to understand what are the advantages of employees to opt for yoga field, which in turn to say that if I want to invest in this yoga field, what are the advantages for me, so that I can create more jobs for people who are seeking in this yoga and wellness field. The first one is, as a job seeker, it has a good pay. Obviously, they have. It's been one of the rich country, and they are well off to pay good, high paid jobs, and there is a minimal expenditure, compared to US and other countries, where of course you will be getting a good remuneration. At the same time, you will have to spend a lot of money for the rent, for the bill payments, and so on. Whereas UAE is a place where you can make a minimum expenditure to uh, to make a good profit and good savings. Yeah, this is one kind of approach. And second one is good rules and regulations for the employees in terms of contract and health card and other benefits. In that sense, what I mean to say is that uh, when you uh, when you get a good job in UAE, you'll not be just getting a salary, but at the same time you will be getting a health card where it will take care of all the health conditions. For example, if you have to go for any surgeries or any medical conditions where you are unable to, the health card is going to take care of everything. You don't have to pay any money. So that makes you feel more secured in your health aspect if you have any background issues. Yeah. And coming to the other benefits, like there are so many benefits which they offer here in UAE, so that you feel more secure and more confident to focus on your job and bring best out of your expertise. Yeah. Then coming to the second perspective is for employer. One is the good market because of availability of multi-nationality expats being in this community of UAE, and as it is more of what I say, it's a job oriented people who are more settled in this place. It's quite obvious that due to work stress, they seek always some alternatives to deal with their stress and anxiety. So they will obviously opt for such modalities of treatments like naturopathy and yoga. Yoga is a great way to deal with stress, so they would choose more of these kind of alternative system of medicine rather than just going for you know conventional methods. Yeah, so it is a great opportunity for putting up yoga and naturopathy business in UAE for investors, because it is very um, feasible option. Yeah. Then coming to the second one, it is a minimum investment and great profitability for the people who wants to invest in this yoga industry. Yeah? Because you just all you need is a yoga studio and a couple of good teachers who have great expertise in teaching their stuff. Yeah. And coming to the next one, UAE is expected to be almost a $380 million industry since 2013, because there was a big financial crisis during 2008. After that, they really managed well to bring their economy back to full fledged. And since from 2013, it's been a great industry to invest in. And yoga in different communities, especially, for example, as it is a pool of expats, they have different communities where you can cater your yoga services and naturopathic services. Because European community is there, Indian community is there, Egyptian community, American, Filipino. There are teacher communities, there are builders communities, and so on. Yeah, so you can approach to different communities to cater our services. Then coming to fitness brands, there are big you know fitness brands here in UAE. One is the UK fitness brand called as Fitness First, and the second one is American fitness brand Gym, Gold Gym. Yeah, I think even in India there are a lot of centers, Gold Gym centers. So these are the big brands which already they have made a brand name, under which you can bring with your own. Bring your own what do you call expertise or ideas to cater your services by combining the great brands which are already existing in the market. Then coming to, I would like to say one more very important event happening in here in UAE called as Dubai Fitness Challenge 3030. I think some of you might have heard of it, because this is a country where people are so much passionate about investing in their health and well-being, because they're going through a lot of anxiety being in a high earning field. So they have to come up with some stress releasing techniques, so they have to come up with some stress releasing techniques, like taking up yoga classes, or learning how to manage their stress through meditation and so on. Yeah. So this fitness 3030 fitness challenge 3030 happens every year during winter season, around November or December, where all the fitness enthusiasts come together in a public places like beach or community centers, where they can showcase their ability, or it will be there are challenges, and there are free yoga sessions, free fitness sessions, where they can market their yoga brand or naturopathy brand or Ayurveda brand in this community events. So this is a great opportunity for people who are really seeking to shift to UAE to, for example, if you have some good talent in this field, you can showcase your talent in such events. This is one of the opportunity. And coming to, there are community wellness centers called as DHTC, Dubai Health and Herbal and Treatment Center, where they combine all the Ayush measures put into one place. You know, say for example, Ayurveda treatments are available, naturopathy and yoga treatments are available, homeopathy, Unani, Siddha, and so on, and herbal, Chinese medicine, everything. So all these, things are putting under one roof uh, in this treatment center. Then there is a growing acupuncture awareness around in UAE nowadays, because it's as yoga, naturopathy, Ayurveda, this complementary system of medicines are really coming into picture during this pandemic days, where people are so much eager to boost their immunity power through different ways and modalities. So acupuncture is getting a really good sense of popularity here in UAE. So if you expertise yourself in the field of acupuncture by taking some courses, like it could be MD in acupuncture, or any certification courses, either in India or Sri Lanka or China, wherever. So you can really get into the market with more effectiveness. Yeah? Then coming to alternative branches of yoga, for example, when we were in the BMS days, college days, we always used to think that yes, yoga 1, 2, 3 is good for so and so, and yoga as a therapy, yoga as so and so. So this was one confined way of approach towards treating disorders. Whereas when you open up into different possibilities, you get to see different styles of yoga being in the community, where there is a theta healing. It's a kind of energy meditation or pranic healing combined together. And there is a crystal healing. They use different crystals to heal or to treat different disorders. Yeah. And just a minute. Oops. Give me a second. Okay. I'm sorry. Okay. So uh, then coming to singing bowl meditation, as I explained you before, this is a great way to tune our frequencies or tune our mind in such a way that we get a kind of sense of balanced state of mind, where you can focus more on meditation and produce a great impact of meditation. So singing bowl is also a great way, and crystal healing and theta healing. And coming to one more, as I told you, I've been trained in Bikram Yoga as well. Bikram Yoga is a style of yoga where there are 24 different yoga poses, which are handpicked from the traditional Hatha Yoga text, and 2 breathing techniques, and made a little bit of moderations and changes to suit the modern needs. And the those 24 postures and 2 breathings are done in a specific temperature and humidity in the yoga room, that is 40-degree temperature and 40% humidity. So when you do this kind of systematic standard 24 plus 2 postures in a confined 40-degree temperature and 40% humidity, it helps to loosen the joints and loosen the muscles a little bit, so that you will feel more confident, because you are able to reach little more far into the final posture than in the normal room. That makes you feel more confident, and obviously because of temperature there is a faster calorie burning, and people who wants to lose their weight, they will get the benefits immediately, so they feel confident about this style of yoga. So Bikram Yoga consists of 24 plus 2 breathing, and it is done for 90 minutes, and each postures are repeated for 2 times. And this was very quite famous in the western side, and it is slowly taking its place in the other sides of the world. And there is another style which is quite famous here in UAE, called as Bharat Thakur Yoga, and they focus on repetition of sun salutations more, and different set of frequency of intense yoga exercises combined together. And there are hot Pilates. Hot Pilates is getting quite famous nowadays here, and Pilates is nothing but more or less like yoga movements, which are done in little different way, whereas they focus on different concepts of postural correction and focusing on core strengthening and all kind of stuff. And even the Vinyasa Yoga, which you would have heard, like traditional Mysore style Ashtanga Vinyasa Yoga, also is done in a hot room like Vikram Yoga to be able to get more weight loss and all kind of stuff. So these are the different things which we need to open up our mind to see what's going on in the yoga field, because it's not only just a integrated yoga approach as a therapy or hatha yoga or whatever we have been just taught in our. Of course, I don't deny that that is a way a curriculum takes up, and it's up to us to choose and explore different modalities of yoga when we come outside the college, and to understand, to gain, because yoga learning is a continuous process. It doesn't stop after we receive our medical graduation. It's a continuous process. We need to explore, we need to touch different dimensions and different shades of our field, and it's a continuous learning process. I don't say once we get a degree it's finished, we are doctors and we just get all the patients in front of my consultation table. It is not so. We sometimes we need to go out, explore, and approach different communities. And the way we are experting, we just have to move forward. It's all about moving forward and explore. Yeah. Then coming to the next one. Yeah. So regulation of yoga field in UAE. I will give a brief introduction about that. Here, as I told you, Minister of Health. It is the regulation authority um, to give certification to be able to practice your own system of medicine here in UAE. The MOH stands for Ministry of Health, where you can become a qualified naturopathy and yoga practitioner here in UAE. And if you don't want to undergo this process, you have an option of choosing different field where you can just become yoga teacher in yoga studio or other fields. I'll come into it later. And for getting this MOH certification, one needs to have 2 years of continuous work experience back in your home country to apply for this MOH examination. Then again, there is a local governance body called as DHA, Dubai Health Authority in Dubai, for this regulation of our system. Then coming to yoga studios, if you don't want to clear MOH exams, you can choose to work in a yoga studio as a yoga teacher or yoga instructor. Then coming to the registration and controlling body for industry, this industry, there is one more thing called as REP card, which means Registered Exercise Practitioner card. So this will give an authority for you to become a freelance yoga teacher, because there is a great market for freelance yoga teachers here in UAE. If you don't want to work under any yoga studio or any particular company, you can choose to take this red card. Once this can happen only when if you have a couple of your own clients who are very uh, um, close to you, and they know you and they know your expertise. They don't want to go to studio. They want you to come to their home and teach yoga. So people choose to take this profession also, like freelance yoga teacher profession here, so that they get this registered exercise practitioner card. So that is a proof that you are registered under the government, and you are free to go and teach in different yoga communities or different yoga studios as a freelancer. Or you can even approach different yoga. You can teach home yoga also. You can approach your clients and you can teach yoga in their home. So this is one kind of thing. And coming to teacher training courses, yes, I wanted to really talk about this teacher training courses. When we say we are looking for job opportunities in UAE, it's not only just to become yoga teacher. It is also very important, and uh, motivating for us to uh, approach different styles of yoga where you have one, two, three skills whenever you are approaching your client. So when a client asks, what are you expert in? I have one, two, three styles. Which one you want? I'm ready to give this service. So to develop this skill base, we can go for different yoga certifications. Anyway, this doesn't apply to people who are already expert in yoga or already have degree in yoga, naturopathy, and BMS degree in yoga. But it is applicable for those who want to advance themselves or who doesn't have the yoga background. They have 200 hours RYT training, registered yoga teacher training, 300 hours registered yoga teacher training, 500-hour registered yoga teacher training. Yeah, and they have swing yoga training, they have acro yoga training, advanced meditation courses, and so on. Yeah. Then coming to, you can choose to become a medical coder or medical insurance supervisor, where, for example, in the insurance companies, you can uh, assess the patient to say that this is correct or not, or this is suitable or not. It's like that. It's like it is called as medical insurance supervisor. Yeah. Then coming to nutrition advisor for top brands and spas. Yeah. Then coming to spa consultant, you can become a spa consultant for well-known hotel chains in UAE. Then personal health and wellness advisor for VIP, which I told you, I worked under a sheikh uh, as a yoga and wellness consultant, and I catered my services for almost 2 years. And still I have been a part of that project, and I'm working under Synergy Healing Center, Fujairah. and and if you choose that profession, you get to see a lot of countries, huh? Because you get to travel along with them in their private jet, and you get to see so many places, and that's a whole new experience being in this naturopath and yoga field. And one more thing is that being a naturopath and yoga, it is two-way satisfactory job, because we are not only just keeping ourselves healthy by doing yoga and by understanding the natural concepts of being healthy, but we are also able to cater this field to the others who are in need. And coming to wellness and yoga advisor at holistic health and wellness centers. You can be advisor also, not only just doing job, you can be advisor for different public and private sectors. Yeah. Then coming to the spectrum of client expectation in yoga. This is a uh, very important concept, which I would like to quickly give a highlight on. One is group classes. Group classes are quite small compared to back in India. You get to say anywhere around 30 or 50 clients in a single class if you have a big setup. Whereas here, the client base in the group classes itself confined to maximum 10 or 15 or maximum 20. So you need to be more interactive rather than just sitting in one place and giving instruction. You need to be more interactive, and you need to give pressure to make sure they're in the final posture, and so on. Then personal training, as I told you, the personal training sessions for 60 minutes are charged anywhere between 250 dirham to 350 dirham, which is equal to 5,000 to 7,000 Indian rupees. So you need to be focused, and you need to cater the benefits what they're looking for. It's like customized yoga programs for their individual needs, health needs. Yeah. And yoga is a posh lifestyle for rich people. For example, this is a not only just this one. What do we call? It is not just a therapy; it is a lifestyle as well for the posh category. Yoga on surfboards, beach yoga communities are here to make themselves pampered. Um, to make it a little different and more interactive. Yeah. Then yoga and vegan cafe. Uh, Again, this is getting quite famous here in UAE. Yoga studios offering a vegan healthy snacks options or food options to combine together. Yeah. And I'll just quickly go through some more points. And as I told you, yoga should become more customized program rather than just teaching, and you are giving instruction and they're understanding your instruction. It should be more of interactive session and more of customized program. And again, yoga should be a different approach for each and every client. For example, a person with a depression comes to you, you should not just start with one, two, three, four, first sun salutation, then standing postures. No, first we need to talk to them a little bit and trying to understand what really they are looking for. If the depression is the concern, we need to focus more on relaxing postures, more of yin yoga, more of relaxing postures to be able to what we call better understand their needs. And some people come with very intriguing response. They're quite not sure how does it help or is it really going to be beneficial, but they want to just try yoga to see how it works. Once you really make them understand the concept and teach in a good way, they will become a whole new fan base for you. Then some people are very hesitant and some people are quite intrigued by what we call different styles of yoga. So we need to understand their mentality to deliver the suitable yoga service for them. And for deepening a spiritual path also they come. So in that case, you just have to go deep into the subject by bringing all your knowledge which you had in your past experience to put it across to cater and make them really understand. Then for those who are more oriented on gaining physical fitness, Vinyasa Yoga, Bikram Yoga is suitable for them. Whereas Hatha Yoga can be more of a spiritualistic approach, and yoga as a therapy is suitable for those who are looking to prevent or treat their ailments. And for kids, we need to make it more engaging and more fun and more playful to make sure they like it and they keep coming back to you. And for pregnant women, again, we need to focus on the benefits of what yoga can impact on their health needs. For example, by enhancing the pelvic diameter, it will help to make a easy delivery, easy birth process, and it reduces nausea, vomiting, and it improves mental health and freshness and all sort of stuff. Then coming to approach to clients, giving a deeper context of health and wellness related to yoga than just gross teaching to stretch, relieve pain, and other ailments. Yoga and meditation classes are a way of counseling and listening to their words, good way to reach their frequency. I told if they come with a different frequency, we cannot always come have our own standard yoga class where we teach to every category. So we need to try to understand the personality and frequency so that we can better understand and deliver. Then pranic healing, chakra cleansing meditation is the best way to explain the concepts of yoga philosophy, which means when you're doing meditation, you can bring in all those health concepts like drinking more water or staying healthy by different things. Yeah. Then conducting workshops on yoga therapy, anatomy yoga postures, anatomy of yoga postures, and full moon meditation, Trataka sessions, focused yoga workshops like yoga for hip opening, yoga for pelvic opening, shoulder opening, yoga for elders, yoga for kids, yoga for computer vision syndrome, and so on. Then, so this is the way really we can understand and explore because it's not always about the book knowledge which comes into picture when we are out in the field. It is about everyday's new experiences which teaches us a lot. So this was the small introduction about scope of yoga and wellness in UAE. I hope I made you clear about how the field is in different countries. I mean, especially in UAE. And I hope this was quite knowledgeable, or I hope a little bit of bits and pieces. I know I was not quite sure with the flow. It was breaking here and there, but I still think that you understood something and you picked something from the talk which I did. Thank you so much for joining with us and giving this opportunity. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Hi,
sir. It was
Amarrya.
actually a wonderful talk. There are some, we are opening for questions, like some of the questions are
Okay.
there. So,
Yeah, sure, sure, sure.
yeah, you can unmute Arundhati. Who was there? Anandi. Anandi, you can unmute.
Sir, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, how to differentiate ROT person and professional BNY's candidate in customized program of yoga? And one more thing, in your experience, what and all points have to add up a delicious essence of yoga journey, sir?
Mm, Actually, for differentiation, I can literally see the difference when a BNS person walks in and other person who has some other background, but they have chosen to do RYT. Uh, they teach. It's the very quality of the class which makes us clearly differentiate between BNYs and other short term yoga course person, because the way they explain is it's like there are standard explanations, or there are limited source of instructions while taking their classes, whereas we being a 5 years medical graduates, we can not only just give the instruction while doing a class, but also we explain the detailed anatomical physiological benefits, and we talk to the clients, and it's not, our talk is not just a class or what we call 1 2 3 steps. It is more of conversation class, and we communicate, and we it's like a counseling the client. It's not only just being a yoga teacher, and I start with sun salutations, I finish with pranayama or meditation. It is more of conversation class, and we have deep anatomical knowledge, deep physiological knowledge, so we can the very way we talk to the clients will make sure that they know what is our background. That is one differentiation. And second question, can you repeat, please?
Sure, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, what and all your points have to add up for our delicious essence of yoga journey, sir?
My point, I would say, it is not what we have just learned in our 5 years medical graduation, which we need to stick on to our entire life. It is all about exploring and learning new skills. For example, uh, if I have more arrows in my backpack, I can shoot better, I can finish more targets, rather than just I have one arrow and I have to use that arrow for all the different circumstances coming to my life. So it's always about learning new skills. For example, even I said Bikram yoga is quite confusing, that there are so many controversies going on, and so on. It's not good to practice in hot temperature. Yes, of course, but you have a category of people who are really interested in that field. So as long as you have that arrow in your backpack to be able to use and target to that particular category of people who are really looking to just reduce weight. They don't want your philosophical concept and so on. They want, all I want is within 1 month, I want to reduce weight. I want to look fit and fine because there's a Christmas party next month. So for those people, yes, Bikram Yoga is good. So you need to, all you need to have is just build different skills to be able to use in those particular circumstances to those particular targets to really bring changes in our field. Yeah, I hope you understand. And
Excellent, sir.
yeah,
Thank you, sir. Sir, as you said, the persons nowadays very quickly they accept results, sir, from yoga.
yeah. That's why I told, modernization of your old skills. You know what is yoga. You know what is the impact of yoga on our personality. But still, you are ready to cater the individual specific needs of one particular community when you are in that particular place. Yeah, that's how you can really progress in the field of our system.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome.
Evening, sir.
Yes, good evening.
So my question to you is, what is gel yoga and how we can practice this?
Oh, okay, that is an interesting question. Actually, Jala Yoga is it's not a particular system of yoga or anything. It was just a demonstration. Like there were olden days when traditional sages used to practice this, just to it's a different style of yoga where you inhale for 100% and you exhale only 90. I mean, you come back to 99 exhalation, again go back to 100 inhalation, 99, 98, 100, which means you're basically holding the breath. That doesn't mean you're totally holding the breath. You are exhaling a little bit and again going back to inhalation. So this creates a kind of buoyance effect because of our lungs, and it keeps you to remain on the surface of water without sinking down. So you can perform different postures like Dhanurasana, you can perform Padmasana, or you can perform Vajrasana and different yoga postures. This is like a more of a demonstration kind of style rather than it is having any therapeutic applications to it. So that is a style which I learned when I was just graduating. I think when I was in fourth year or third year, I learned the technique, and I still use it as a demonstration purpose in TV channels or in public places. For example, if you have some community people who wants to just see this particular style of yoga, I demonstrate on swimming pools and.
So, as you told, it is quite interesting, and I think it's very attractive to the people also.
Yeah.
So, how I can or we can practice, sir? Like, what we have to do for this?
Yeah, this can be. I mean, you can learn under the supervision of a particular teacher, or you can just improve your lung functioning through pranayamas. For example, there is a Jala Plavini pranayama. Plavini is nothing but gulping the air through your mouth to such an extent that you feel the bloating of stomach, and you improve the lung functioning or lung capacity by doing Kapalbhati and Pastrika pranayama to such an extent that you become a master in holding, breath holding, the Kumbhaka pranayama. So once you advance yourself in the practice of Kumbhaka pranayama, then you will be able to retain the breath for quite a long time. And that necessarily not that you have to hold the breath for 2 or 3 minutes or 5 minutes. No, it is practically not possible. Anyway, I told you, right? Even I can demonstrate the Jala Yoga for maybe 5 or 7 or 8 minutes or sometimes 10 minutes by doing different yoga postures. That means I'm not totally holding the breath. Yes, I'm holding the breath 100%. And again, I'm exhaling back to only 98 or 97 and again inhaling back. So, which means literally my 90% of breath is inside my lungs. It is not exhaled out. So that way you can hold the breath for a longer period of time inside your lungs so that it creates buoyancy, and then you can float in the water and perform different yoga postures.
Thank you so much, sir. It was really wonderful, I think. And I have heard first time like there is something like Jal Yoga. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much. So any more questions?
So there was a question in the chat box related to barefoot walking. Like, so why it should be done, or how is it beneficial or good for us?
Uh, as you know, reflexology points are activated through the practice of this one, walking. Uh, I think reflexology, yeah, that is the main impact. And second one is you're connecting to nature, you're connecting to Mother Earth, you're connecting to the five basic elements of nature: earth, water, air, fire, and space. So this is uh, beneficial in different ways, right? One is you are connecting to the Mother Earth, you are connecting to the Mother Nature. The second one is it creates a massaging impact on your foot because the feet are the areas where the reflex points are located, and nerve endings are present. That is very important. Nerve endings are present as compared to the other part of the nerve endings are more sensitive and more what do we call responding in nature. So when we create physical pressure impact on these areas, this is going to in turn activate different areas of the brain, and it helps to promote positive health and relieve different pains and all kind of stuff.
Thank you, sir. Actually, it was a very wonderful session, complete in itself, and you taught us actual meaning of yoga, how to treat a patient as an individual rather than just a subject of performing, giving them a module to do the yoga. So thank you for that. And I
Yes,
would like to ask you one simple question that what would be like a parting message for us students? What should we do to explore more new fields in yoga and like get to learn more new things and be enthusiastic as well to succeed further?
so my advice to you is just stop uh, limiting yourself that I am a BNYS graduate. No, you are more than what you are, and you are more than what you will be tomorrow, and you will be more than what you will be day after tomorrow. So this is the only way to keep yourself enthusiastic and motivated towards life. There is nothing uh, dead end to the learning process. It's always about exploring and learning new techniques. Because when I was in second year of my medical graduation, I almost taught a big crowd of 200 plus people gathering in my local area. Because that's not something that I was confident or something, because it is a passion. It is a passion which keeps us motivated, no matter whether you are certified already or not. It's all about being confident and being passionate about what you're doing, and stop thinking that your degree finished means you're a doctor, and yes, you're all done, you are ready to do everything. No, the actual journey starts only after you finish your graduation. So please keep that in mind so that you don't feel low in energy, or you don't feel pessimistic or anything. Yeah?
Thank you, sir, for this wonderful session. And we would actually like to have you again with some practical sessions too. And it was very beautiful thing you taught to us today about the koshas and the complete package of yoga that you have learned and experienced and actually taught to other people. Also, we would like to learn more about the acupuncture techniques you employ as you have treated, we know that 550 chronic migraine patients. So it
Yeah.
was wonderful to have you, sir. And
Thank
we would love to welcome you again on this platform. Thank you so much, sir.
thank you. Namaste, everyone.